Hello everyone and welcome to World of Darkness news show. This one after RenegadeCon, which happened last weekend, and we do have a lot of news about the upcoming TTRPG products. Some of them that we haven't talked about before at all. From the ones that you might be waiting for a long time to the ones that you might not even remember that we're supposed to release. There's a lot to cover today, so let's start from beginning. Vampire the Masquerade Player's Guide was announced, or would you say re-announced, during the RenegadeCon last weekend, with plenty of information about it shared during the interview that Justin had with Elisa from Renegade. You can check out this interview on our channel. It's the one with the Hunter thumbnail. And there's been plenty of information about the new books coming for Vampire. This is the very first one which was announced. Player's Guide, what exactly it is? It is basically a guide for players, a very good kind of an ease in to play Vampire the Masquerade with a lot of additions and a lot of new things which it's going to introduce. Starting from all clans summed up together in one book, something that a lot of people were requesting. We know that it's a little bit complicated with Vampire the Masquerade clans being thrown through all of these different books, with 7 clans in core book, Banu Hakim in Camarilla, Ministry in Anarchs, Hecata in Clothes of the Blood Gods, and La Sombra in Chicago by Night, and of course Companion with Tzimitzi, Ravnos, and Salubri. We really want to give you kind of like an easy book to check out for all of the clans in one place, but with some added stuff. So in this book you will be able to find alternative banes for the clans, which will able to expand them a little bit more, still very much on the theme to every particular clan and how you play them, but adding a little bit more alternatives to how you play. So that's going to expand a little bit more. And of course, we're going to also introduce the companion content to the print with this book, which means that it's going to finally introduce the errata, which we worked with our community. We've received tons of little feedback notes or bigger emails from community members who were sending us the potential fixes and potential feedback and questions about the companion. One of the things which was repeated the most was the fact that you feel, even though Salubri are a very minor clan and there are only very little Salubri at the same time in any particular domain, you still feel like archetypes would be much easing in the way to play the clan. And we agree. I think that's we talked about this through with Justin and with the people in the team, and we agreed that, yeah, Salubri are great. We see a lot of people starting to play them and adapt them in their games, but a lot of new players struggle to find a place for them in their campaigns because of the lack of archetypes. So we did write the archetypes for Salubri, and we did also write some additional coterie merits for some of the clans that were lacking them. So that's also going to find its way to the player's guide. And of course, much more. I do have a list of things which were partially mentioned during the interview. I recommend to listen to the interview to get more detail. But one of the things that was mentioned is how a lot of people play Vampire the Masquerade differently these days. They do not play the game at the very classic role-playing table in someone's basement. People play on Discord, people play in virtual tabletops, and Player's Guide is going to respond to all of these modern needs of how people can play the game, and also include information for folks who use a little bit more non-traditional way and more modern digital way of playing Vampire the Masquerade. So yeah, there's going to be plenty of content in this book and a lot of added things for players of vampires that might be useful both for new players and those that actually played from the very beginning of Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition. I hope that we will be able to share you more about the contents of Player's Guide in the future, but as for now, let's check out what other things Renegade is planning to publish. And the second thing, which is also a super cool thing for people to start role-playing Vampire the Masquerade with and to introduce players into Vampire the Masquerade with, is Vampire the Masquerade Starter Set. And that's the very handy set that is going to make players just jump in very quickly into roleplay without the need of using the full core book. So if you have some players that you want to introduce to your role-playing campaign, but don't want them to go through the huge core book and read every single thing that is in there, you can just get them there for the player's kit, for the starter kit, sorry. The things that were shared during the Renegade Con interview about starter set is that it's going to have 6 pre-generated characters, so you can already just grab them and jump in, but also quick start rules on how to begin your role-playing journey. It will take you through all of the steps on becoming a vampire. So it takes you from the moment, the day of your embrace, adding some little backstories to you as a mortal, to you as a human, how the day of your embrace looked like, and how you developed since then. There's going to be, just quickly checking everything that was announced, because I cannot say everything about these books just yet. There's going to be plenty of really cool content, which we're going to reveal slowly. But basically this is going to be a very cool tool to experience the Vampire the Masquerade role-playing through for the first time, or to experience it again with the very simple kind of a set of rules and simple set of jumping in and playing immediately without checking, all of the rules in the book. I feel like it's going to really make it easier for people to get new people at their tables and expand the whole role-playing community that we have. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this one. And it's still not the last Vampire the Masquerade product which was announced. Let's go to the next one. Vampire the Masquerade Blood Sigils, that's the one I'm super excited for myself, because that's the source book dedicated specifically to blood sorcery and Finnblood alchemy. And as you probably know, if you ever played Tremere or Finnblood, there's so much potential in both of these discipline powers, or actually not really discipline powers, because they're so much different from all the other powers like celerity or auspex. They add so much more to the game. And as much as there's a lot of space in the core book already for these disciplines, and then again in another books and even in comic books you can actually find some additional blood sorcery rituals and additional powers, it still isn't enough. We don't have enough information on how to incorporate it in our games. A lot of people ask us, hey, I'm a gangrel, I'm playing a gangrel, and I actually really want to have blood sorcery. Where do I find recipes? Where do I find ingredients? How do I actually play a sorcerer as a gangrel or as a bruja, as a toreador? And you definitely can do that, of course, with some shenanigans in the game, but this book is going to introduce blood sorcery and Finnblood alchemy in a much broader sense to any player who wants to use it more in their game, and to storytellers who want to use it as a hook in their stories, because there's going to be plenty of story hooks which you can use. So from the information that were shared during the interview, the book is going to have information on how do you get ingredients and recipes, where do you get them from? Is it a little bit more traditional, old school way of looking through old tomes, or maybe some lost pen drives, maybe dark web, maybe going into the internet and trying to search for actual vampiric recipes? How would young Tremere and young Finnbloods find these recipes nowadays? Would they have a Discord server for that? So it's going to be taken, of course, from the very modern and the digital way as well. So you can expect things which will match any modern roleplay very well. And of course, new recipes and new powers that you can expect for sure, story hooks and more. So yeah, that's another book which is announced. I'm super excited for this one. I am currently role-playing a Finnblood myself, and I love Finnblood alchemy. There's a lot of things that you can do in the very fun ways, especially when you have the Athanor Corporis Finnblood, and you actually have to consume every ingredient like grated magnets in order to make things happen. So I want to have more recipes, and I want to feed my Finnblood with more weird things in order to do even weirder things. So Blood Sigils is a book for me, and I hope that we will be able to reveal a little bit more about that in the future to give you more insight on what's in there. There are no set dates for these books just yet, so we're going to update you on the exact release schedule in the near future. And there's more stuff coming, and actually this is great news and also very bad news. Bad news because I will have to buy a lot of them. And that is the Hunter and Vampire character journals, which were announced by Renegade. So what Renegade is doing is they're going to publish these super handy books, which are going to consist not only of the character sheet for your character, but also a lot of more things to feel as you are playing your campaign, Discord campaign, or maybe just writing an OC and want to have a super cool book for your particular vampire or hunter OC. The book is going to have prompts for character backstories, how you were embraced, your coterie, your haven, session notes, relationship map, and a lot of things that you will be able to pen in, pencil in, or however else you would like to approach this. I know for sure that I need at least 2 of the vampire ones, and I don't know how many hunter ones, but there's going to be a plenty of filling to do. As I think it can be a very cool tool to use at the table and to keep all your notes covered. If you're playing a traditional chronicle with your friends and there's a lot of things going on, a lot of characters, your character is meeting, relationships forming, things happening, things you found, things you consider hooks for your particular character, you can note them down instead of a regular notebook in this super cool thing. So that's really fun, and I cannot wait to feel them on my own and maybe actually, sketch my character somewhere and get some more artsy about that. I will see if I, once I get one, if I can maybe share some screenshots later on and photos of what I do in my Vampire the Masquerade character journal, because that's for sure what I'm going to do first. And for Hunter, of course, we cannot say much just yet because we haven't released the character sheet just yet, but we have plans of doing so eventually. And once we do that, I hope that you will enjoy the contents. Plus, for this, when it comes to the physical additional helps for your campaigns, Hunter also has their Hunter dice on pre-order, so you can pre-order them from the Renegade site. They're super cool. They're orange and black, so a different color scheme than Vampire. Also, the color scheme is reversed from Vampire. Vampire traditional regular dice were black and the Hunger dice were red. And in this particular case, the traditional regular dice are orange and the Desperation dice are black. So there's a lot more flavor to it. I think if you will have 2 of these sets on the table next to each other, I think like it's going to be a nice opposite from each other. So yeah, orange 100 dice are available for pre-order right now. You can check them out on Renegade Store. All right, and now on to the news which you've probably heard about already if you checked our social media, if you checked Twitter, Facebook, Discord, and also plenty of online forums, because I saw the conversation was going on everywhere. We do have a new cover for Hunter the Reckoning. I'm going to share with you a little bit of a backstory about the process, because some people may actually not believe what happened, but we originally shared the preview of Hunter the Reckoning 5th edition on our website, which is still available. You can download it from worldofdarkness.com in the account section. Just need to log in and download it. We shared it with the original planned cover for the book, and we got a lot of feedback from the community that they would prefer a different cover, that cover didn't really speak to them, maybe they didn't necessarily say Hunter, and from a lot of people we've heard that it's a cool picture which actually fits inside of the book, but they would like to see something different on the cover. And we shared the preview, I believe it was Friday night European time. So yes, because the Renegade Con was happening in the very middle of the night. And we gathered in the morning on Saturday after we got the feedback, and we were talking for the Saturday. And this cover, thanks to Mark Kelly, thanks to Thomas Arford, our art director, was made from the scratch during this one weekend. So we actually made it together, and Mark Kelly just absolutely stepped up with his game. You probably know a lot of his artworks already because he's featured in numerous Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition books. And some people were saying that no, they had this cover prepared beforehand. Actually, I gotta tell you, we did this all during this weekend. We worked really hard because we wanted to react to feedback and make sure that you will really like this cover. And we got tons of really positive opinions about this one, so I'm very happy that people like it, and I hope it's going to look as awesome on your bookshelves as I imagine it to be, because I love this new cover, and I feel like it will really shine on the shelves next to Vampire the Masquerade, which is very pink and red and violet. This super orange Hunter is going to look really cool. So yeah, that's a little backstory of what happened. I am very happy that a lot of people shared really nice feedback and really positive feedback about the interior of the preview, about the interior art, and what we've put in there. There's been tons of conversation about La Celestina, which is the antagonist that we previewed in the Hunter so far. So you can check it out on our website. Thank you so much for all your comments, your feedback, and when it comes to things that you didn't like, we listen. So I hope that you like this one. And for the next news, not connected right now with TTRPGs that much, strictly connected to video games, and of course based on Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition, Vampire the Masquerade Swansong is going to get its own gameplay trailer, and it's going to premiere during Future Games Show on Thursday 24th. There's been a lot of more information shared here and there by Vampire the Masquerade Swansong Twitter and their accounts in general. I recommend to follow them and keep an eye open, because there's going to be a lot of things coming on before the game's premiere and the release happening in May. As usual, before the game's premiering, there's a lot of movement going on and there's a lot of things being shared. So we had Dev Diary shared already. We had some additional video content which you can check out on Naken channel and some also on our World of Darkness channel. But the gameplay trailer is going to be something that a lot of people are waiting for. They want to see how the game looks like in longer cuts, because so far people saw those shorter elements of gameplay of Swansong. This is going to be much longer, much bigger, and showing you how the game looks like. And there's been some more information shared about the characters in the game. This is the picture which was shared on their Twitter. It's much bigger if you will search it on Vampire Swansong. There's a lot of more characters in there, but the character in the middle, in the red jumpsuit, is actually the Prince of Boston in this game. So this character is the prince, and yeah, there's going to be a lot of things involving this character that you will find in the game. But I can't tell you more just yet, and I can't wait to play this game with you and stream it once it releases, because it's going to be a lot of fun. And with the choices and with the differences that the different playthroughs are going to look like because of how you react to certain things, I'm sure it's going to be a very rewatchable and replayable game. All right, and for the last piece of news, I know that maybe people watching this video are not going to be the direct target audience for this video, but still, we have a new series on YouTube, a series of quick, short videos called Non-Bloody Guide to Vampire. And this first video is very introductory. I think most people watching this stream or this video right now know most of the things which I'm talking about in here, but we're going to have a lot of more of these videos coming, and they're going to talk about all the bite-sized information from Vampire the Masquerade that can be introduced in a video like that, like how to use vampire dice, how to use convictions, what are touchstones, what is humanity, how to use humanity, how to feed, and all of the other questions which vampires ask themselves to, or vampire players ask themselves when they play the game. I hope that these videos are going to be useful for especially new players, but also if you are playing Vampire already and you maybe forgot about something, or maybe you don't really know how to use a particular mechanic in the game, you can just watch a 2-minute video in which I explain it. So that's the plan for Non-Bloody Guide to Vampires. The first video is up on YouTube already, and as I said, it's a very introductory video to Vampire the Masquerade, where to start, what's LA by Night, and basic things which you probably know, but we really hope that it's going to be super helpful for new players that ask us these questions all the time. We have tons of people on TikTok and tons of people on Insta that come to us and say, hey, what is this? I wanna get on board, but I don't know what to do. So that's what we want to help with, and we really hope that this series of videos is going to help. Non-Bloody Guide to Vampire. I recommend you to check out our YouTube channel for more. In the meantime, I'm going to connect with Hadi in a second for Vamily Spotlight. Later on, if you are watching us live on Twitch, we're going to do a Q&A, but now is the time for the community question, which is going to also go to our Twitter. We're going to ask you there about it. So this one is fun, and I feel like a lot of you might have plenty of ideas. And of course, it's meant for people who've already played Vampire the Masquerade role-playing game, or at least read the core book. So the question is, merits and flaws. Is there anything missing? What would you like to see more in the merits and flaws section? Are there any advantages for your vampires which you would really like to see in the game which aren't there already? Do you think any section should be expanded? Do you think there's something that you would really like to include in your character sheet? Maybe some homebrew which you were already using, maybe something that just comes to mind when it comes to your particular characters. So yeah, the question is, what would be your idea about new merits and flaws, and what would you like to see in the game? That's it. All right, I'm going to join Hadi, who is waiting for me there for Vamily Spotlight, and see if she can see me. Doo-doo. Hello, Hadi, can you hear me?
I can.
Perfect. I can hear you as well. Let me show you to everyone on the stream.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, there we go. Let me just do a little bit of shenanigans of moving things around my screen to see you better. And I am absolutely ready right now to go through our beautiful board.
Yes, you added some stuff. I
I
love it.
did add just a little bit of stuff, so not too much, but enough to get some more content. But most of these are from you, so we're going to start with top left and let us know what do we have here.
Well, we have a LARP in Adelaide, Australia, where apparently one player was given permission to do the big slurp on another player.
The big slurp.
And I thought that was really, really cool how they did it.
I think it's super cool. Also, I applaud them for being masked. It's really nice of them, and you know, like it's good to be a vampire who is safe as well. You know.
Yeah, of course.
So
But I mean, yeah, I want to LARP so badly, and I imagine at some point I'll have this moment.
yes, I am definitely planning to LARP this year. I'm just really
I know you
hoping
are.
that it's going to be safe considering the world situation and everything.
Yes.
So yeah, props to people from Adelaide, Australia for LARPing with the masks on. It looks actually super cool, and
Yeah.
I hope that the big slurp was satisfactory.
It always is, isn't it?
It always is, just like during the fact, not after the fact. Then it's like the remorse hits. Okay, Quimtuck.
So this is just one of the most popular, I don't know if category is the right word, on Tumblr is people drawing their OCs from their chronicles, and I see so many of them all week long. It's hard to pick, but I picked this particular one just because I really like the art style. It's really, really cute.
It's really awesome. I like how people are approaching vampire art in completely different ways, and sometimes making it more cartoony, more inspired by, you know, some maybe shows or web comics they were reading, and this just makes it all more vibrant and more cool. I love it. They are all super cool.
Yeah, and that's one thing I love. Keep drawing your OCs so I can look at them.
Yes.
I told someone on Discord the other day like that we're always watching. I'm always watching the different social medias and looking at your stuff.
Yes, no,
Not in a creepy way, but
there's nothing better than just seeing people going completely wild with the art for their OCs. Like, I love it so much. It gives me so much life and unlife.
yeah,
it's
and
so
on life,
good.
yeah.
And
I'm
speaking of
unliving for it.
unliving for it, yes. Speaking of OCs, we have Eric Church from
A
Rusałka. Oh, she's
very
Polish.
handsome gangrel. Oh, are they? Oh, yes.
Yes.
I just noticed. Yeah.
So Rusałka means in Polish it's kind of like I'm going to butcher it, but it's kind of like a pixie. But
Pixie?
it's from a Slavic, more of a Slavic connotations of. I don't know what's the best way to say it in English. Either fairy or a pixie or, well, basically like a kind of like a yeah thing
That works. Pixie and fairy,
with
those
wings.
both work.
I guess Rusałkas have wings. I'm going to butcher it. No, I'm not going to talk about it more because I'm going to definitely embarrass myself on my knowledge of.
You're not
Slavic
embarrassing yourself at all. Ridiculous. But what we can talk about is how handsome this gangrel is.
Yes, the gangrel is super handsome and
Eric Church.
yeah, and it kind of looks like I know it's a 2D art, but it somehow looks like a very well cel shaded 3D because of the shadow. Like it looks really really nice. I like it.
It looks really, really good.
Yes, Rusałka, great job. Dobra robota. It's in Polish. Okay. We have there's a TikTok from our friend.
Yeah. By Night Studios is by far one of those TikToks where every single day I check for a new video and always makes me smile.
Yes, Alyssa is
They are incredible.
Alyssa is doing a great job with the TikTok. I really recommend to follow them to get to know more of their super cool sense of humor and really cool cosplays as well. So yeah, check this one out. Play it.
Oh, shit. You don't know about doing whatever the fuck you want? Damn! I'm sorry, man. Hope you find that someday.
That's so nice. I love it. It's basically what I could hear from like Scouter in Bloodlines or something like
Yep.
that. Like it's so anarch. Love it.
Yeah. It sort of also reminded me of something like Nox might say from Bloodlines as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. I mean, I'm not sure if Nox was anarch. Nox was like Nosferatu.
Bertram was Anarch, wasn't he?
No, he was actually Camarilla Lines. Da, da,
Ah.
da, da. Got you.
Yeah, well, no, I don't know Bloodlines as well. I've only played it like 2 or 3 times.
I'm the worst. Like I was called out on Discord recently because I was just like chatting with people on the Discord server, and someone said something about running around with a leg in the context of Bloodlines, and I was like, it was not a leg, it was an arm, and I was
It was
like,
an
oh my,
arm.
I need to stop doing it. I need to stop like making people feel bad about their knowledge of Bloodlines lore. Like,
No, you could do that to me as much as you want because I know so little.
but
I don't remember
it's not
stuff
nice.
like that.
I need to just shut up about it one day, you know. Anyway, we have Loran Art with a beautiful Salubri.
Yeah, so this again, like I always say, there's so much art every week, new art. The Vamily is absolutely incredible. And so it's so hard to pick, but this one really stood out to me because just the idea of a Salubri with no eyes but still having the third eye.
Yes.
And I believe they're Spanish, they could be Latin American as well, but the caption says I there are some illustrations that I'm really bad at translating in real time. There are some illustrations that are that I still want to do that are inspired by Vampire the Masquerade, and this character is inspired by the Salubri clan. I'm very happy with it. This time I did it without references because I knew what I wanted to do, and I hope you like it.
You're great. Thank you so much
No,
for
I'm really
translating.
no. My brain is not designed for
That was great. Also, I
IRL
just
translating.
every time I see Vampire the Masquerade written in different languages, it's just so cool. Like Vampiro la Mascarada. It's so nice.
Yeah.
Like Vampir
Yeah,
Mascarada in Polish. It's so
yeah.
nice.
Vampire die Maskerade in German. So
Vampire
it's
the
just,
Mascarade. It's so
yeah.
nice. Or how is World of Darkness? Welt die Dunkelheit?
Welt der Dunkelheit.
Yeah, that's so cool. Okay, and now
But people just say World of Darkness. That's the thing about Germans is they're very good at taking English words and just using them.
oh no, in Polish we actually use the Polish version. People say świat ciemności, which is super difficult to say actually, but that's World of Darkness in Poland.
If it's super difficult for you to say, then we don't have a chance.
Świat ciemności. It's kind of like nice. It has the nice to it. Anyway, Hawaii? I don't know how to.
I think it's like supposed to be like kawaii, but like with a
Hawaii?
Hawaii.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Yeah. This one caught my attention because of the caption. Sometimes you only notice how love was nothing more than obsession when it's gone again. Horrible little Toreador I made for this person's game. They are here to suffer.
Perfect.
And that spoke to me.
Yes, like this description is how I play Vampire. Thank you.
That's how I play, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's so good. And also the fact that he mentioned, or she or they, sorry, mentioned horrible little Toreador. It's like literally most of my characters are horrible little shits. Excuse me for my French.
They're in the chat, by the way. I just saw.
Oh, it's so nice. Hey, it's
Thank you for your art. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's gorgeous, and I love it. I like the colors and the darkness in here, the shadow here.
And like the sort of the blood effect on the hand as well.
All right, nickname which I'm not going to read.
I know. I should have blocked it. I meant to block it out, and I actually forgot.
It's fine. But it's true. No, like I want to listen to it in your words. Can you read it up?
I was gonna say, well, this is I Wanna F Buddha, and they said it's canon. Everyone thinks it. Kadir is fine as fuck, and they're right.
I mean, simple but true, and
it is. It's. I mean, I can't argue with it.
Yeah, everyone agrees. I very much like the fact how Kadir is like gaining fandom kind of exponentially, because Coteries of New York is at this point is a pretty old game. Like I don't want to say that it's an old game because like I feel old when I say that, but it's been few years already, but Kadir still is getting new fans, and still new people get on board and are like, oh my god, look at this guy. And I agree, I fully agree. I was very afraid of him the first time I started playing. I was like, I don't trust this
Same.
man, but now I'm fully bought.
And then he was like, I love the Mets, and I'm like, oh, you're not intimidating.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's so many sweet things about this man, but it's like I feel like he hides most of them. I feel like if you would ever actually explore the very inner, like hidden room of his haven, you would have like cut pictures there, or like blankets, soft pillows, and stuff like that.
There's an art that was in Shadows of New York with Kadir sitting in a chair. And it's like my absolute favorite. I have it saved as for one of my wallpapers for my desktop.
I just see it. You need to put it there for next week.
Yeah.
Also,
it's from Shadows. It's in the game.
Also, someone in chat is calling me out, saying that no one in Poland says świat ciemności. Like whenever I go to Polish community, everyone just uses Polish names for everything, and I'm like, I don't even know what they're talking about. Like, they're using Polish names for all the stuff, and świat ciemności is one of them. Anyway,
I never hear a German say Welt der Dunkelheit. I never hear them say it.
I do hear Polish people saying it all the time. Maybe I'm in wrong groups. Maybe I need to like get see more of Polish community. I don't know. But here we have CQ free multiplayer campaign starting tonight. What is going on?
I had to see. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure if this person is playing the Princess of Darkness mod for Crusader Kings 3, which is a Vampire the Masquerade mod for it, sort of a Dark Ages mod. But there's a customizable option for Crusader Kings where you can sort of customize your own ruler and your own house. And this was just so hilarious. House, not a vampire. And their motto is, we are normal humans like you.
Absolutely.
Dynasty head of the not a vampire dynasty, Queen Elizabeth of Transylvania, who is, of course,
not a vampire.
Famous historical figure.
Of course, not a vampire. I wonder if this is in Princess of Darkness and someone just made like a clan house.
I think I don't know, because you could really do this. I'm a person who loves Crusader King, so you could actually just go do this in the make a ruler thing.
That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
That was really funny.
I feel very sad when I see this emblem, but I get it.
Yeah. It's very much the nothing to see here motto.
Also, I just realized my mistake. It's actually not świat ciemności, it's świat mroku in Polish. And I actually said World of Darkness wrong in Polish because I'm an idiot. And I just don't play this game in Polish.
You guys are really setting her off with this.
Why is everyone... No, it's actually my fault because I literally never roleplayed Vampire the Masquerade in Polish.
And Nerdberg can back me up that WAD is WAD, that we don't say
WAD?
that don't go hide.
Yes. Yeah, what is let what say what? No, but it's fine. Anyone that calls it any name in your particular languages is okay. So now this is some stuff I actually pulled from Twitter. This one I just loved so much. I guess I don't know the backstory of this character, but I'm super interested in their obsession of pineapples. Like, I don't know, but it's a Tremere character from Cassandra Lay called Delia, and the person who drew this says that they very much miss Delia character, shake screen, in my season 3. So yeah, that's a vampire Tremere character with a lot of pineapples.
Yeah, that's real. I mean, it sort of reminds, and I'm blanking on the name of the character, of one of the characters that was in the your coterie, Veronica's coterie in Vain Pursuit. It reminds me of something they might wear, and the Malkavian, I'm just blanking on the name of the character. Camellia.
Yes. Oh, that would be so great. Oh my god, I miss Camellia so much. She's such a cool character. Like, downright, with no shade to my other co-players, but my favorite character of Vain Pursuit, I think. Camellia was just so amazing. It's so good.
No, mine was Maya, of course.
I mean, of course, but no, for me, it's definitely Camellia. I just there was this moment when, my favorite moment of the whole chronicle, which made me crack up so badly, I have to really restrain myself not to burst out laughing super loud during the stream. And that was when, when there was we were on some kind of a carnival / marketplace, and there was like an event. There was a lot of people, a crowd of people, and suddenly something very like shady and masquerade preaching was happening, and Camellia did the silence of death thing with, with the clicking.
I remember.
It was so good. I loved that campaign. It was so fun. If you haven't watched it yet, Vain Pursuit, it's on our YouTube channel, and it's actually fun because we played under Kareem, the storyteller, who is our brand editor, and
brutal.
He's brutal. He's our mechanical guru, so he comes up with all of these cool mechanics which we have in the game. He came up with the hunger system. He came up with the with all of this like really really cool things that are making the mechanical ground for V5, and he uses a lot of these mechanics aplenty in this game to punish us severely. So it's a very mechanical driven game in some way in comparison to LA by Night, which I think makes it super different, but it's also super cool and very brutal. Yeah, so I know it's a Vamily Spotlight, but I kind of want to like introduce some more things in there. So I saw this werewolf drawn by Smish, and it's actually inspired by Hunter V5 preview.
I know exactly the image that inspired it.
Yes, so there is an image of a werewolf which we shared already in the very initial preview, and as you already know, all of the like the color scheme of Hunter book is black or gray and white, black and white, and orange. So this is completely on brand for Hunter. This could be in the book. It's so good. So Swish, great job. You nailed the style, and it's amazing. I love it. And last one, it's from Crimson Courier, who draws a lot of vampires. This one is not actually tagged as the vampire one, so I didn't know if it's particularly Vampire the Masquerade, but it screams vampire to me. So I wanted to share it. In my dream, I kissed her. She felt so real in my hands, like everything I have lost, all the old lovers, the dear friends, all came back to me. And God, she is me. She's me all along, and I love her to death. So cool.
Maybe we gotta get you to read the next creepypasta.
No, I'm not going to do it because my accent sucks. But it's so great. I love it. Although it might not be a vampire one because what I see in the front end here kind of looks like a wing, so it could be like a fairy / changeling kind of a creature.
Oh.
I don't know. I just wanted to introduce it here, like at the very end, because it was so.
No, I'm sure I've told you this, but I absolutely love changeling.
Yes, and I do too. I actually played. I haven't played Dreaming much, as much as Lost. I've played Changeling Lost more, but I love both of the books, and yeah, can't wait once we get to that point publicly and talk more about.
She's like can't talk about anything.
No, I really cannot wait for us to get more spots introduced, especially after so many people were so happy about Hunter, and Hunter just gets my gears going so much right now. I want to storytell it, and I want to play it.
I can't wait for everyone to get their mitts on that book. It's so good. Yes,
we are not officially announcing that we're making any other splats. Everyone in the chat or comments. But of course, we keep all of the other splats of Vampire the Masquerade, of War of Darkness in mind, and we remember about them. And there's going to be a time when we might say more about that. As for now, we're working on werewolves, so that's our priority.
She's like, this is all that I can say.
This is all that I can say. All right, and speaking of all that we can say, let's say things about Storyteller's Vault. Oh wow, look at this cover.
Isn't that cover gorgeous?
Damn.
Okay, so Gilliam Sancho, who they've made 3 books. I chose this one to feature. They made one about blood sorcery, which Blood Sigils has been announced, but I made another one about V5 elders, like bringing elders into V5, and then this one about Coldonism. And this one really spoke to me because just recently in my stream game, I homebrewed Coldonism for a character. And I would have loved to have had this before then.
I actually really like it because they are no longer Tsumitsu only, but now open to other clans, and it works more like a cult. So it actually is very much like, I think, fitting V5 in some way. So I love how on brand Guillaume is trying to be with this one. Also, when you said a book on elders, I am interested. Like I really would love to introduce elders as a potential antagonists or potential additional kind of like a threat in the background of my games. So I think I'll be super interested in that.
Yeah, that's how I use them in my games. Absolutely. So definitely recommend checking them out. They're all three of them are really, really cool and gorgeous covers, just like this one.
Yes, perfect. And there's a lot of stuff in here. Like we won't be going through everything, but you can check it out, maybe take a screenshot and see it, or just go to Storyteller's Vault and see the Colonism source book by Guillaume Masip Sancho. Okay, didn't butcher that too much. It sounds really cool, and the cover is gorgeous. It's beautiful.
So good.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Let's check out what's up with LA by Night.
Yes. So this one, I had seen this one right before we went live last week, and I was like, I should have put it up, but I didn't. So this is from last week, and as you can see, Josephine McAdam commented on it, and it's just an absolutely beautiful interpretation of Eva performing, I think, A Taste for Blood.
So pretty. I'm just zooming on her on the screen so people can see the details on the face and close better. It's gorgeous. I love it, and the colors are so nice too. Beautiful. And look at Josephine, who saw it. Oh, that's so nice. All right.
So gorgeous.
Mercy Miss Rule. I like this nickname.
This I saw on Tumblr. There's so many, like, I'm going to use air quotations here, hot takes about LA by Night that are usually really, really humorous. And this one just happened to be the one that caught my eye, and it says, amazing that they decided one of Annabelle's characteristics is that she just never washes her jacket and it just stinks. Terrible little unwashed gremlin energy from this vampire. And it's so funny that they incorporated it in, and right now Nellie is suffering having to wear it. Annabelle, how could you make your mother deal with your small coat? So it was so awesome.
I never thought about it before, actually, but it makes sense. You know, it's the power of Tumblr. You read some hot take on Tumblr, and suddenly everything starts to make sense in your head. Now the smelly coat makes sense, and also now I imagine all the other country members having to deal with Annabelle's poor jackets throughout the whole campaign, which is great, amazing. And we have nice little speed paints by D. Lucy.
Yeah. So this is if this is taking place in season 5 of LA by Night. So this is if Jasper and Annabelle had their own, I guess, Instagram pages. I assume that's what it's supposed to be. And
so cool.
It might be Snapchat. I don't know. I don't use Snapchat.
So wait, there's more of these like pictures there, and they're like.
These were the only 2 that I found.
Okay, but it's so cool. Like, I mean, it's a really cool idea. I had a friend once that, I mean, she's still my friend, but she was once doing this project where she was basically drawing a character, and that character was having her own Instagram page, and basically drawing selfies and stuff like that. So making a character from the scratch. And I think that's such a good idea that we should one day use for like actual play, where there is like a fake profile of some character in there that basically just posts selfies, and it's all in character, it's all role played. I love stuff like that.
I have such an idea to run a Thin Blood chronicle where they're all like varying degrees of influencers.
That'd be so nice. And actually have them have accounts online and have people follow these accounts.
Exactly what I mean. It's exactly what I'm getting at.
That's so cool. No, I love this. It's kind of like an ARG in some way. Like it's not entirely an ARG, but you can just implement some parts of the role playing in the social media as well. Like that. It's so fun. Awesome. I love these. Someone was asking in the chat whether there is. Oh no, I need to actually permit people very quickly because we have people trying to share the links from Storyteller's Vault. There we go. And someone was asking whether vampires have body odor. They do. I mean, if they use Blush of Life, I think it's possible for them to have body odor because, in general, their bodies will behave more like humans.
I can explain the reason her jacket smells, if that's also the question.
Yes.
So Annabelle gets down and dirty as a Bruja, right?
Yeah.
So the jacket has gone in the ocean, has gone through sewers, and has just accumulated grossness from the actual environment, and they just don't wash it.
I think Annabelle is just grubby.
Yeah, Annabelle's just kind of grubby.
No, but for real, a lot of people are asking this question. I know it might be a weird question to ask, but I've heard it numerous times. Do vampires shower, or do vampires have to shower? And yes, of course, like if you are like walking around, maybe not, you don't see it every day because you just, wash yourself because of the body odor, but let's say you are on some hiking trip and you will accumulate a lot of dirt on your skin in like day one, right? And for vampires, even walking through the regular cities and regular metropolis, you will gather a lot of this like dust and particles and things on you, which will make kind of like a shell on your skin if you don't shower. So realistically, yes, you do need to shower in order to both look human and smell human, and also to kind of like keep your humanity at bay, not at bay, but basically keep in touch with your humanity still.
I would say so, yeah. It's not like your hair is going to accumulate a lot of oil and stuff like that because you're not producing it as a dead thing. But
yeah, but it will accumulate dirt still.
Yeah. I mean, producing from yourself. But yeah, I think taking a shower is one of the most human things that you can do.
Definitely, yeah, and you can have a lot of thoughts in the shower about how to take over the city, how to topple the
Shower
prince.
thoughts.
That's what I do. Like whenever I'm in the shower, I have best thoughts, like best ideas come in the shower. So I'm sure that a lot of princes came into power because of the showers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, thank you so much, Hattie, for joining me
Thank
today.
you.
That was such a nice overview. I hope to see you here next week with more stuff. We never run out of these. There's so much stuff to cover.
Could do this forever, honestly.
Yes. Thank you so much, and see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And that will be it for today. If you're watching us on YouTube, if you're watching us on Twitch, we will have a little Q&A session. If you have any questions, please drop them down below in the comments, and I will see you next week. Don't get lost in the night, and go check out the non-bloody guide to vampire, which we've posted on YouTube, that has a lot of information for the new players of Vampire the Masquerade, as well as Hunter creepypastas, which we've started posting with the very first episode last week, that are going to introduce you to the antagonists and to the creepy parts of Hunter the Reckoning. See you later!